I wanted to be that person that made a difference.
I feel honored to be able to represent my school and represent teachers everywhere and what we believe and the hard work that we do every day in the classroom.
I learned early on that I took great joy in just working with kids and opening doors for them. I was kind of drawn to the kids that had trouble learning, and I found that I had kind of a special connection with them, and I just loved the feeling of being able to offer an opportunity and watch them take it.
She's great, she's wonderful, and it's just a pleasure being with her.
I was inspired to become a teacher because when I was in grade school, I struggled. And watching my own children grow up and watching their friends and how they struggled as well, I decided that I wanted to help kids to understand and not struggle, and whatever I could do to help them to understand.
Finding that connection that a child, what is going to help them learn, that's a challenge to me, and it also gives me great joy when I find it and see how that one little connection makes the whole big picture.
I just like the fact that when the kids are really excited and it lights up inside them and you can see it's clicking and they're having a good time. That's my main thing.
We individualize instruction here, so I use different strategies for different students. It's impossible to just, get up in front of a class all the time and just teach something rote and think that everyone in the room is going to get it the same way or process it the same way.
They do more lounging around, doing their work, reading, doing the different activities that they have. And it's been very successful with this class. So that's been my favorite, is bringing in the Daily 5 this year and doing that and just seeing them be more comfortable when they're learning, a more natural environment, it seems like, for them.
I do a lot of hands-on. I do a lot of think, share, pair. I'm very, very driven to have the kids think for themselves. And I tell them at the beginning of the year, you might not be an independent thinker now, but at the end of the year, you're going to be able to think for yourself. I think that them using their prior knowledge and their higher level thinking skills, it builds a desire for learning, and that's never going to go away for them. And that's one of the things that I really focus on, is making them responsible for their education and their learning.
When I see their faces light up and they get all excited or they want to say, do it again, those are my favorite moments. When they're excited and they come in and they're ready to learn.
And interesting, intelligent kids like you.
It helps us learn what we didn't know last year.
Seeing the look on a student's face when they've mastered a concept, the accomplishment that they understand the skill and can do it on their own without me directing them, is a good feeling. It's a privilege.
My favorite moment of teaching is the words that come out of the students' mouths. A couple of years ago, I had a student that came up and said, we were out of control with learning.
I just like how she teaches, because she's really nice about if somebody doesn't really get it, she'll go over it with them so that then they can get it and then they can get the paper done.
Being around the students is the best part of the day, and having the interaction with them, having a good time, building those relationships.
To his students, I know he tries to be as involved as much as he can with them. He tries to help them. If it's either in the classroom or out of the classroom, he tries to be involved with his students and help them out in whatever they need. And just to see all these connections and to see that we played a small part in their life and help them focus and hopefully inspire them a little, it's amazing time. So I refer to that as our warm and fuzzy moments.
My favorite moment in teaching is when there is that child that you have struggled to build that relationship with and to make a difference in their life. And when you see that aha moment, that light bulb kick on, and they're getting it, that brings such pride and such delight to my heart, knowing that I finally reached that child.
I love when the pre-K kids come in because sometimes for some of them, they are experiencing the joy of a book. for the first time. I want them to experience a thrill and a joy of exploring books. And I want that to continue for their whole career. I don't care if they're the best reader in the world. I want them to love to read, because as long as they love books, they'll pick them up.
You're hugging your book as you walk down the hall.
My favorite moment teaching is really every year when the first graders realize that they really are reading. And they're reading little bits and pieces all year, but when it gets closer to Christmas, you know, we're getting closer and they're able to read more fluently and they're so proud of themselves. That's always the biggest moment for me, is when they are doing that and finding out information for themselves.
It's a validation of STORT to know that other people recognize the hard work that goes into it, and that you don't just work from 8 to 3 and then go home, put your feet up. There's a lot of extra work to be done, so I really appreciate the vote of confidence.
I think that my hopes come out in what I do every day, because I really want them to be successful, and I know I'm successful if they produce. So yeah, I think that my hopes and dreams are in a scary place because they're in 12 and 13-year-olds.
I want to be that person that's important to them so that they can go out and be a positive for someone else.
I want every single one of my students to be successful in life. Doesn't matter if it's college, going out into the career world, whatever they decide to do, I want them to be a success. I want them to be able to accomplish whatever they want to accomplish and put their minds to.
That every child that walks into my classroom leaves wanting to learn, with that desire to become better and to learn more about the world around them.
I enjoy every single day. Every day is different in some way, and I enjoy every day, and that's why I keep coming back.
I feel honored and privileged that I get to wake up every single day and come to my favorite place, come to a job that I love, that's going to be different every day with different challenges and different people, different kids. I really do love what I do.
The fact that I make a difference, that's all I wanted to do, was I wanted to be known as somebody who makes a difference.
My hopes and goals are that I am a continual learner, that I don't just get stuck in what I'm doing, that I am continually changing and up to date with what's going on with learning, and that I can make my classroom the best that it can be, that my kids are excited to be here. They don't want to miss a day of school because they might be afraid that they miss something exciting, and that they want to be here, that they are excited about learning, that school is always a fun place to be.
You just take the time to celebrate the little things in life, to make a difference to the little kids who are afraid to come to school, meet them where they're at, and just reach out to them and help them know that school is a safe, fun place to work and play.
I'm just so grateful to have been a part of this, Enid Public Schools team overall, and things are rocking.